Who goes? Anybody tries to come in here without Hal's say-so, we get to do what we like with them. I think we finally got a bit of entertainment here, lads.
Make us breath! Oh! Very well. It shall be done. I shall do it. No glory! Push them back! Let's make this do it. I shall do it. Very well. It shall be done. Allow me. I could do that for you. Allow me. I could do that for you. Very well. It shall be done. It is begun.
Don't leave me here! Get me out! Was this supposed to be a lesson? Did my father think it funny to leave me for so long before sending you? You move in august company, stranger. I am Oswin, son of Ban Sigurd, of the Dragon's Peak Banon. If you aren't one of our soldiers, pray tell me, who should I be thanking for my rescue? Then I have no question about why you would come, Warden. For it is your men who have suffered the most here. You have my heartfelt gratitude. And I assume the gratitude of the entire Dragon's Peak Banon. If my father sent no one after me, I can only assume that he does not yet know the true colors of the snakes he is allied with. But if you talk to him, I'm certain he would offer you any reward you might ask. One soldier returning from Ostagar was my wet nurse's son. We have been friends since birth. He told me his unit was ordered to turn their backs on Kalen at Ostagar, before the Darkspawn overwhelmed him. The next day he disappeared. When I went to search for him, I accepted a drink from a stranger and ended up here. Then there is a Landsmeet after all. Hal said the Isle of Redcliffe was dead, and the Landsmeet called off. I swear, if there be any forum to speak out against Loghain, my father will be there. Now, please, I must try to get to him. I cannot see the last of this place too soon.
We must not exhaust our... It shall be done.
They said to retreat. The horn sounded, and we turned, and then the screams. We rode, and they screamed, and screamed, and... Mother, can you smell the blood? They said it was only Darkspawn. But we ate them too. They died, and we left them. In the swamp. The witch. The witch!
He's obviously mad. I don't think you'll get anything more out of him.
Safe? Is there a safe? Perhaps next door?
What month is it? Are you some enemy of Aurelians? Please, I feel like I've spent half my life down here. Dead. Then who's ruling? His son, Vaughn. He struck me down and I woke up here. People were so angry, they were thinking of petitioning the king. There have been many changes since they caught me. I need to find out what happened. I need to get home, or flee the city. I thank you for your aid, stranger. I wish I had more than gratitude to offer.
I shall do it. I could do that for you. It shall be
Well,
done.
well, the Grey Warden. I must say I'm surprised Eamon would condone you invading my castle and murdering my men. Is he losing faith in the persuasive powers of his lamb's meat? The traitorous bitch has you under her thumb. Honora does love games. I'm surprised she'd play with the likes of you. You should have left when you had the chance, Warden. Slunk off to the Anderfells to hide with the rest of your kind. This Landsmeet is a farce. Loghain will triumph, and you will die.
It is the It shall be done.
Make her spit on you. I deserved more.
It shall be done.
Who's there? Stay away. You can't do this to me. I'll have you all flayed. I'm the Arl of Denerim. I'm Vaughan Kendalls, heir to the Arling of Denerim. It's true. Too many of our troops were lost at Ostagar. When the riots started, Howe came with men to reinforce the garrison here. Or that's what he claimed. As soon as I let him into the palace, he threw me in here. One more victim of the Elven uprising, he said. Let me out of here. I'll do anything. You know how elves are. Every now and then they start to think they're people, and you have to put them back in their proper place. Of course. Anything. Just let me out. I swear you won't regret this.
Maker, have mercy on your faithful servant. Grant me a place at your side. Grant me the cleansing flames. Andraste, Bride of the Maker, have mercy on me. Alstana, is that you, little sister? No, I don't know you, do I? Are you real? I'm Erminric, Knight Lieutenant of the Denerim Chantry. You aren't one of the Tairen's men?
He sounds like he's in lyrium withdrawal. He's got all the signs, confusion, weepiness. He probably doesn't even know what he's saying. If the Grand Cleric knew he were in here, she'd be spitting hot coals. Nobles don't have authority over Templars.
I failed in my duties, Maker. Forgive me. I failed, and there's no telling what he's done. The Malefica. He had turned blood magic upon Templars and Circle mages to escape from his tower. Near Redcliffe, I cornered him, but the Ten's men took him from me and brought me here. Yes, he destroyed his phylactery. We were spread out, trying to find him. I was alone. You are real, aren't you? My dreams are so strange now. Please, if you're not a dream, help me. Give this ring to my sister, Alfstana. Tell her I'm sorry. Please, ask her to pray for me.
As you say.
Hey. You
You don't belong.
Allow me. I could do that for you. As you say. I shall do it. As you say. Allow me. I could do that for you. Very well. As you say. Allow me. I could do that for you.
Armory is close.
Very well. Be careful!
Buster, you don't belong in here.
Don't give them the advantage. No progress shall be given. It shall be done. It is begun.
Thieves! Brigands in the house! God, help her!
Very well. As you say. I shall do it. Very well. As you say. Very well. Someone's here.
Look, you didn't say nothing. Wait. Who are you? You're not on my watch! Call the watch! We've got an intruder!
Just look at this. Hal was worse than the rioters.
My thanks. Thank you. I'll trust you to lead us safely out. If Hal's people find me, I'll be killed. And my people will insist on escorting me back to the palace, where my father may also have me killed.
Warden, In the name of the Regent, I am placing you under arrest for the murder of Rendon Howe and his men-at-arms. Surrender, and you may be shown mercy.
Why stop now? Calthrion is all that stands between us and freedom.
Are you sure this is what you wish? I'm surprised this ended peacefully. Bring the Wardens. Loghain doesn't care about the rest.
Eamon, we have a problem.
Andraste, watch over our friends in danger.
Calm down. What has happened?
The Wardens have been captured.
What? How could this happen?
Never mind that. The question is how to free her.
Surely you mean them, Your Highness. We need Alistair too.
Yes, of course, I meant Alistair too. Calthrion will take her to Fort Draken. Getting in will be no small feat.
Oh, you're awake. I was starting to worry. I've been worse. I'll be better still when we get out of here. Who do you think will come? Oh, I wish I could see that. One person assaulting Fort Draken all alone. I hope you're right.
And what are you supposed to be?
We, sir, are performers from the Antiva City Circus. The famous Broma Brothers. Surely you have heard of us.
You don't look like brothers.
How can you say that? Are your eyes failing? Look at us, we are twins! Not identical, of course, but twins, nonetheless.
I'm the pretty one.
Right. So what are you doing here?
We are here for the commander of this fine establishment. It is his birthday, no?
It's not the commander's birthday, is it?
Don't tell me you forgot! What kind of terrible man-at-arms are you? No doubt he is crashed. It is fortunate indeed that the Regent sent us to entertain him.
Well, wait over there. I'll get the captain. Never said anything about any circus freaks.
There. Not so difficult, was it?
Yeah, easy for you to say, elf. These clown pants are riding up something fierce.
All right, what's this about?
We are the famous Broma Brothers of the Antiva City Circus. Surely you're expecting us. We have traveled here at great expense to perform here at the particular request of Teyrn Loghain.
Never heard of you.
What? Do you hear this, brother? What kind of uncivilized country is this? We have performed for archons and empresses.
And children and pets of all ages.
To have traveled such a distance as a personal favor to Loghain, only to be turned away at the door by some uncultured soldier? Unthinkable!
Oh, for Andraste's sake, fine. Go perform in the main hall, I don't care. Why didn't I take the post at Lothering?
Sacrifice pray for us. Sing our names to the Maker that he send us light in these dark times. Oh, I didn't see you standing there. May I help you?
Oh, no, I was just looking for the captain. I beg your pardon, Mother.
He's down at the other end of the hall, my child.
point of putting ballistae inside the fort?
Some officer probably thought it was a good idea.
We may want to rethink this. It's just one officer, by a room full of guards, in a fortress full of them. What could go wrong?
Intruder!
As you like. On it. I don't get blood all over me again. Killing have more dignity, no?
Argren wins again.
As you like. This won't take long. This won't take long. On it. As you like. As you like. Time to dance. As you like.
Ah, my dear Warden. Did you miss me? Thank the stone. You won't believe what they wanted me to do to get you out.
It shall be done. It shall be done. Very well.
What the... Intruders! Run away!
It shall be done.
We've got an intruder!
I think we work well together.
It shall be done.
I think we work well together.
Good! Another down!
Perhaps I could have a try at that.
What do you... Wait, you don't belong in here? Guards!
It is begun.
Perhaps I could have a try at that.
We must not lose our supplies.
As you say. As you say.
Perhaps I could have a try at that.
Maker's breath. It's good to see you in one piece, my friend.
Indeed. We have been praying for your safe return, Warden.
I can believe it. Though I'm afraid if we do not act quickly to erode Loghain's support, we may all be seeing a great deal of Fort Draken in the future.
We will need to work together, and quickly. My father has gone mad. I didn't believe it at first, but he is gripped by a paranoia so severe it prevents him from seeing sense. He saw me as a threat, yet even now I'm certain he will be telling the nobles you are dangerous murderers that have kidnapped and mind-controlled me. He may even believe it. You will need ammunition come the Landsmeet, and I can help you in that regard. You have only just arrived in the city, so perhaps you are unaware of some recent events. Denerim has been in turmoil since Ostagar. Many people here are angry or grieving. Strangely, the unrest is worst in the alienage. Few elves accompanied the army. They should have little reason to be upset, which means that Hal and my father must have given them reason. I don't know what is happening there, but I am certain my father has his hands in it.
A useful lead, Anora, but you could have sent this information with your maid.
That is true. I feared for my safety as Hal's prisoner. But to tell the truth, I sent Erlina to you because I hoped we might join forces. You need that evidence for the Landsmeet. But you also need a stronger candidate for the throne. You need me. I have no doubt Alistair is biddable enough, and decent. But even with his blood, he is no king. You think only I can see it? Not only that, Alistair is a Grey Warden. It will look like you are trying to put a Grey Warden on the throne, despite your claims. I am a neutral party, and I am already queen.
Anora, you are indeed Cailan's widow, but...
I am the daughter of Ferelden's greatest general. Who do you think truly ruled this nation for the last 5 years? Cailan. I am what this country needs, not an untrained king who does not even want the throne. I can help you stop my father. Consider what I have said. For now, I think I will retire to my room. Warden, when you have a moment, I ask that you speak to me in private.
Well, she's quite spirited. I remember when Loghain first brought her to Denerim. Poor Cailan was a good boy, but Anora was always 2 steps ahead. Had him jumping when she snapped since the first time she batted her eyelashes. I cannot help thinking she may be trouble, but we should keep her close, all the same. This is an alliance of convenience. For the moment, we are united against Loghain. Be careful how much trust you place in her. I do not for a moment think Anora means to give up her power easily. Still, I would rather have her where we can watch her than actively working for Loghain. Anora was a capable administrator for Cailan's lands, but she has not a drop of royal blood. We did not fight the Orlesians all those years just to lose our royal line in a single generation. Not when there's a surviving son of the blood.
Thanks. I'm right here, you know.
His mother was a maid, but his father was Merrick Therin, for whom we all risked our lives to win back the throne. We all hoped Kaelin and Honora would secure the succession. I only wish Merrick had taken more time to instruct the lad in the politics of ruling. I did my best, but... Ferelden was first united by Calenhad, the Silver Knight. For 400 years, his descendants have ruled Ferelden. That was the heritage we preserved from the Orlesians. And it is the heritage I will fight for as long as one of Calenhad's descendants still lives. Without that to unite us, we could scatter back to warring Terniers. He knows how to lead troops to defend his land. He knows how to stand and fight for justice. He knows how to show compassion to those less fortunate, and how to trust to the Maker's guidance to know right from wrong. And he knows who to turn to for aid, should that training fail him. He will be fine. We certainly have a great deal to plan. Maker knows what that man is capable of now. Of course, if I might make a suggestion, go speak with Honora. She will either be a powerful ally or a powerful enemy, and the sooner we know which she is, the better.
My love? Of course.
Hello again, friend. It looks as though you're no worse for wear after your stay in Fort Draken. We went through our joining together, more years ago than I like to remember. He was exactly the same back then, tough as stone and just as grizzled. I think he understood sooner than the rest of us how ugly a choice it is to let the few be sacrificed to protect the many. Always left himself a soft spot for his recruits, though. Only way he ever let himself down. Well, I'd be happy to tell you what I know, but it seems to me that you've picked the important parts up yourself. Be firm in your beliefs, protect people from their own ignorance, and be as loyal as you can to your brothers, even knowing you'll share their deaths. It's tough to say. Only the fortress in Weishaupt has every record. But there are certainly a few dozen or hundreds in every nation in Thedas. The Anderfells are home to over 1,000. It's almost like the Archdemon chose Ferelden deliberately, knowing how unguarded it is. Once only, and I'd rather not go again. It's far, lass, and very foreign. The Wardens there, they fight Darkspawn like you and me, but they're shaped by the winters there and the forest. They're a cold group and don't care like they should about the rest of the world. Their king is weak, and many Anders look to the Wardens to rule. I hate to say this, but some of them seem to want it that way. It was near 1,200 years ago, and no one knows for sure, except that it began with a group of Anders soldiers. Apparently, they defected from their king's army, vowing that fighting the Blight was more important, and traveled all the way to Tevinter themselves. They were the first ones to track down the Archdemon Dumat, and the ones to slay him, though none survived the battle. But they had picked up followers by then, and it was they who formally founded the Order, and were recognized by Thedas. Archdemons don't awaken on their own, you know. It takes the Darkspawn, tunneling and tunneling, searching for centuries to find one. And with no one to lead them, it must be sheer chance, or maybe instinct, which leads them. What's surprising isn't that it takes so long between Blights. What's surprising is that they succeed at all. But I imagine the old gods call to them, and it's that voice in the darkness which drives them through so many generations. The important thing to remember is, None of that matters. When you're facing Darkspawn, all you need to know is to stop them at all costs. Hello again, friend. It looks as though you're no worse for wear after your stay in Fort Draken. It's located just off the Market District in the northern alley past the Old Noble Tavern. I'll sketch out the code which will let you pass the Lockwheel. Inside you can take your pick of whatever equipment remains. It is the stockpile the Wardens have kept for centuries, for the defense of Denerim. When I'm well enough, I'm going to continue my journey toward Ostagar. Hopefully I'll be able to trace the heart of the Blight and where the Archdemon itself abides. If we want to defeat this Archdemon, we need to know where it is and how soon it might strike. If there were more of us, I would agree. But as it is, I don't think we can deprive all the armies you've gathered of a commander. Good luck to you, then. We will have to talk again when the Landsmeet is more settled.
Hello again, Warden. It is good that you came to speak with me. I will be blunt. I can see that your voice will be a strong one in days to come. It is to you that Eamon listens, and with good reason. My father must be stopped, but once that is done, Ferelden will need a ruler. I would welcome your support for my throne. For years, I have ruled this kingdom as Cailin's queen. As much as they loved Cailin, all of the Banon knew this to be so. Cailin was a good man, but what is needed now is not another good man, but a good ruler. I sent Alina here not solely because I thought I needed help, but because I saw an opportunity for us both. I need your support, Warden, and you will need mine. No? You're a Grey Warden, and despite the fact that my father will paint himself as the only one who can protect the country from the Blight, it is not so. Secondly, you saved Arl Eamon from a plot that no doubt had its origins in Hal's sick little mind. People will not forget that. You are competent and powerful, and in the right place at the right time. Used to your advantage, these things could bring you far. Do you disagree? You are a fellow Grey Warden. What do you think of Alistair's potential to rule? Never mind his willingness. Alistair seems like a kind, well-meaning man, and biddable enough. These are admirable qualities, if not kingly ones. He also seems to be a fine Grey Warden, which is exactly why he should remain one and serve the kingdom by defeating the Darkspawn. Cailin knew of Alistair. It was Arl Eamon that kept Alistair out of the courts, as Merrick had desired. Oh, there are some who would follow Alistair out of respect for his Therin blood. The others would see this as Eamon grabbing for power. Who else do you think Alistair would turn to for help? Eventually, the nobility would return to the old days of constant warring with each other. Alistair's weakness would destroy everything Merrick built. Ferelden needs an effective ruler with experience to see it through the Blight and after. That is not Alistair. Thus, I say again, I would welcome your support for the throne if you would give it. I agree that there is much to be done before the Landsmeet, but don't you think plans should still be made for what will follow? I do. Ah, there is to be no discussion then. Your loyalty to Alistair is admirable, if misplaced. If you change your mind, speak to me again. All I wish to do is talk. Have you changed your mind? I would like to discuss your support, if you are willing. That is exactly what I am proposing. When the time comes, you support my bid in the Landsmeet to remain on the throne. You will be seen as my father's enemy, yet you will be in support of his daughter. You will be seen as supporting the interests of Ferelden, as opposed to solely those of the Grey Wardens. In return, I add my voice to yours. Do you see? Together we can do what alone we cannot. He is my father, as well as a great general, who has served his nation well until now. If there is a way for him to live, I would prefer it. Then that is how it must be. I will always be my father's daughter, but even I know he must pay for his crimes. It will not make me glad, even so. Does that affect your decision? Can we yet come to an arrangement? Ah, that's too bad. Marrick's boys are charming, aren't they? And happiest when they have a woman to dote upon. Is that why you support him? The way you speak of him, it simply makes me curious. Well, fair enough. I'll tell you this, my father must be stopped. Once he is kept from the throne, if it should fall to Alistair, then I will be content. Ask me whatever you like. Of course it does. Do you think me heartless? But how much worse would I be to calmly stay at the side of a man who murdered my husband? It seems a strange word to describe a marriage our parents arranged when he was newly born and I still in swaddling clothes, but yes, I loved him. He was reckless, impetuous, and charming. Had he not been king, he would have made a dashing rogue for a band of players. We were a good pairing. He would not have wanted the burden of ruling any more than I would have liked remaining the silent wife in my husband's shadow. Cailan was so idealistic. The world was his storybook, and he was the hero. My father is different. He's an idealist too, but he knows what idealism costs. They often clashed, but never seriously, never for long. Cailan would always come round to Father's way of thinking eventually. And then the Blight came. Cailan dreamed of uniting all the nations of Thedas against the Darkspawn. It was a dream. He wouldn't surrender. What my father saw, however, was the boy he had swaddled inviting Orlesian troops back into the land he had fought to free of them. And for once, my poor, foolish husband wouldn't back down. They would not believe it, most of them, even from my lips. Loghain is the hero they've looked up to their whole lives. Far easier to believe you or me a liar than him a murderer and tyrant. That's why it will be critical to find some way to discredit him before the lands meet. We must have proof of my father's crimes for the bands, or they will never believe us. It was more than just my own loss, but I thank you all the same. Ask me whatever you like. Ah, well, he was once a farmer when he was a boy, if you can believe it. I never could myself. He's useless with plants, for one thing. I remember my mother once asking his help with a sick rose vine. My mother oversaw the rose gardens personally. He touched it. No more than that. And it shed half its leaves like a dog with mange. She never asked for him to help with her roses again. He bought her another one, though. He carried it back from Denerim with the branches overflowing his saddlebag. Despite the thorns tearing him bloody, he wouldn't let anyone else take it. He wanted to be the one to present it to her. My father has his faults, Warden, but he is far from common. I'm not sure. I had no inkling of my father's plans until Cailan was already dead. I would like to think that my father planned for the worst, but did not truly decide that Cailan was a lost cause until that moment in Ostagar. The alternative is difficult to imagine. Trust would perhaps be putting it too strongly. My father knew what Howe was, and while I despised the man, I knew that father relied on his political mind. I expect my father thought himself above being influenced by the snake. Truly, I wonder how many of these acts stemmed from Howe and not my father at all. We may never know. I hope not, but I fear it is so, yes. Because he believes he is right, Warden. He thinks he is the only one who can see Ferelden out of its current crisis, even if it is one he helped engineer. My father is capable of remarkable blindness, but it stems from his love of Ferelden. That is the saddest part of all, I think. Ask me whatever you like. Do you want me to try my luck at fortune-telling? There was an old woman who read palms in the village of Gwarren when I was a child. She told me that I would have 10 children and be bald as a winter heath when I grew up. I can't say I put much faith in foretelling. What will happen depends much on you, Warden. But you certainly knew that already. Then I wish you luck, Warden.
My lady, she will be forever grateful, Warden.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Welcome back. Is there something else you'd like to look at?
Every piece.
All men are the work of our Maker's hand. from the...
Blessed are the peacekeepers, champions of the just.
Those who bring harm without provocation to the least of his children are breaded and cursed by the Maker.
Those who bring harm